Hello and welcome. My name is Aaron and thank you so much for swinging by the Auto Trading channel. This is TradingView Tuesday and this is episode 1. Since it is episode 1, today I'm going to quickly show you the basics of the code of TradingView. That way you know where to go and what to look for as we dive deep into TradingView's code. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So let's go to tradingview.com, and I actually recorded this once already and my mouse wasn't showing up, so here's round 2. Alright, to get started we're going to click up here on get started. If you do not have an account, click right here. They're going to try to get you to pay for one of these premium subscriptions, but all you need is a free account, and everything that we do you'll be able to access through that free account. So click on sign up and then you'll fill out your information here. Now I already have an account, and so I'm just gonna click on this happy little fellow right here and click on sign in, the Auto Trading channel, and the splash screen that you hit will look similar to this. You can easily get to the charting software up here at chart. But if you've never logged into anything and you want to log into something else, you can come over here to markets and you can choose your market, and you can choose whether you want stocks, foreign exchange, cryptocurrencies, futures. If you scroll down to one of them, it also gives you a sampling of some of the more popular items in these categories. I like Elon Musk at the moment. He seems like a pretty cool guy. He's doing a lot in the world. And so let's go over here to Tesla. All right, now this is the snapshot of Tesla. And so again, there are now 3 ways on this chart that we can quickly get into the actual trading chart. It's up here at chart again, to see more on advanced chart, or down here at launch full chart. All of these will take you to where we want to go. All right, quick overview of the chart trading software. Right now what you're seeing, this is the price that everyone's familiar with. This is called your price action. And down here below, many times you have volume that just shows up automatically. Right here on the right, you have your price. Down here you have your time. Over here on the left-hand side, you have all your drawing tools. You can draw trend lines, you can make some notes, you can draw some Fibonacci channels. You can paint this thing to your heart's desire. Across the top, we have some navigation tabs. Right here, we're on Tesla. This is, you can change the time frame that you're looking at. You can also change the style of chart that you're looking at. And we're going to stick on candles. Under here and compare, if you wanted to compare it with another symbol, you could. Here's the S&P 500, and it paints the whatever you're comparing it to on the chart. Let's get rid of the S&P. Indicators, that's going to be where we dive into in just a second. You can look at the fundamental metrics for stocks under financials. Templates, as you build out some, let's say you have specific things designed for Tesla, specific indicators or strategies or things, you can save a template for that. You can go make a Bitcoin template. Templates are really cool. It just allows you to quickly move from different things that you're looking at. Alerts are awesome. You can get it to send you an email whenever the price crosses, or when the price crosses, if we're on over here and we say, well, here's a high and I want to know if it crosses above that. So you can put that in there and get an email as soon as it does. Just really crazy cool that they provide that for free. So let's come over here to indicators, right? This is going to be the bread and butter of what we're kind of diving into, at least in the basic videos. So as you can see, we have these 3 options right here. My scripts, as we develop our very own code and indicators and multiple indicators and strategies upon strategies, this is where it will be saved. Built-ins, this is awesome. TradingView gives us a plethora of indicators that they have already made for us. This is the bread and butter of where you're going to go to quickly get the snippets of code that you need. Same with strategies. These are pre-built strategies, and this is just a wonderful gold mine of code that we can basically copy and paste to create what we want, our custom strategies. Over here on volume profile, I believe these are all premium things that whenever you pay for the service you can unlock. And then candlestick patterns, these are really cool. It just, on the price action, it gives you a little indication when whichever one of these price action patterns appears. And so it's really cool, instead of having to study it and be like, oh man, where's this let's see, man, I don't want to pronounce half of these. So this Dragonfly Doji, let's see, a bullish, do we have any of them? This might have been a mistake. Let's click on this arrow to go back. Let's come over here. You know, we're not doing candlesticks. Let's just get rid of that. Okay, we want to go to indicators. One of the main indicators that everybody knows is the MACD. It is a moving average, convergence, and divergence. It's just charting two moving averages as they converge and diverge, is the way that I understand it. So I'm going to scroll down to the M's. Here's moving average, convergence, and divergence. I click on it, and voila. There you have it. The MACD in all its glory is down there at the bottom. The MACD right here, it is showing 6 different plots. You have a MACD line, you have a signal line, you have as it grows above the 0 line, as it gets smaller above the 0 line, and then as it grows below the 0 line, and as it gets, smaller towards the 0 line. And so just a lot of data plotted out here. The MACD is awesome. So let's look at these little settings right here, because this is where we're going to get to go in to the code. We're going to get to see it. But first, let me just explain these 5 little buttons. We have hide. That's pretty obvious what it does. We have this settings wheel, which allows us to see the inputs. I'm going to talk about inputs in our code. This is really cool. We can come in here and change these in real time. And here, let me just change this to something crazy. Boom, and it shows us in real time. And moving on, this is our source code. This is the bread and butter of where we will be and what we'll be looking at. This X just takes it off the chart. Let me click on more. This is a really cool thing. You have some extra settings that you can play with, but this move to is really useful as you want to move indicators up and down and put them on overlay them on top of each other. This tells us to move the MACD to the existing pane above and watch what happens. Okay, it's a bunch of gobbledygook, but this is really cool because you can see the MACD line, this blue line, and the signal line have now overlaid themselves, and it's just really cool. It's another way to visualize what's going on, and you can see it's doing the best it can. As as the price action falls, it comes down. As it goes up, it goes up. And this is gobbledygook. You probably don't want to do this for the MACD, but for other indicators that we look at, this will be very nice, and it's just another way to visualize it. And so let's move the MACD back down to the pane below, and let's dive into the code. That's what we're here for. So we're 10 minutes in, and but hey, thank you for bearing with me. Here's the code. Now, as you can see, there's this lock icon. Let's go ahead and get rid of that real quick. I'm going to come over here to the right side. You have these 3 dots over here, these settings. Let's make a copy, and we'll click save. And it'll get rid of that lock icon, and now we can add to this code. We can completely destroy it. That's probably what we'll end up doing. But now that we save this, let me show you up here at our indicators, and we come up to my scripts, it is now showing right here. And as for any other code that you make in the future, as long as you save it, don't forget to save, it will show up here. Strategies as well. All right, let me come down here for a second. I want to add some line breaks into the code, and I want to just to make it a little bit easier to explain. I'm actually going to place one more right here to separate the plots as well. So the code, if you don't know, it's separated into sections. For TradingView, you have an intro. You don't always have an intro, but TradingView needs this intro section. And then we move on to the inputs. These are kind of like numbers and things that we want to identify to then plug into our equations. And then we have the plot colors. This just allows us to make our indicators beautiful. And then the calculation is where we take those inputs and we do the math. And we'll take things built in like moving averages, and then we'll take our inputs and we'll say, this moving average basically times the close of each bar, times, maybe not times, but in width, then the fast length, which we're describing as 12. That's the equation that we built out. We build that into this calculating or equation section. And so all those then give us all that data that then we have a plot section to our code. And then if we have a strategy, we'll have an order execution section to our code as well. And so let me just show you all of those and describe them a little bit in more detail. So this first one right here, this is that intro. TradingView needs to know what version to call upon. And so there you go. As of right now, the beginning of 2022, version 5 is the most up-to-date. It's the newest. And so you can easily find that by just going to indicators at the top and selecting a pre-built indicator and click on it, look at the code, and you can see what the current version is at, because TradingView will keep their version up to date. The next section of code are your inputs. These are the things that we define, the things that we will want to be, we'll be able to change these later, but also the reference points. And so, how many periods do you want your moving average to call upon? Well, this is that input that you can put in. And so I'm going to jump ahead just a little bit to show you this fast length right here. This is just the name that we gave it, right? But then the fast length, what we want fast length to do, we want it to compile the name fast length with a default value of 12, and that is now stored in this one word fast underscore length, right? And we can see fast length then called upon down here in our calculating, or I came to know them as the equations. And so our inputs then get brought down here into the equations, and then those equations, crunch that math for us, bar by bar by bar by bar. It does that, and then we can call upon that math, and then we can plot it. Okay. This third section right here, that's, you can make it as pretty as you want to. Also, we have lines, as you can see up here. This is also this part right here, the green and the red. That is a histogram, and so you can see it's called upon right here that they wanted certain things to be histograms. I know you can do like X's or crosses, you can do the lines, you can do dots, you can do histograms. There's a bunch of different things. And then all the colors, we have blue, we have orange, 2 shades of green, 2 shades of red. You can really just, however you want to paint this thing, you can make it look like a masterpiece. Calculating, this is the equation side of it. This is where the math is done. I'll just explain one real quick. to the best of my ability. So we have this term fast underscore moving average. And what is it? It is the simple moving average source, which the simple moving average source is this input data right here. Okay. And so it's that, it calls upon that. When we give it the title SMA, and the sequence that it's calling upon is a simple moving average. It's a built-in function of the source, which source is up here. We're calling upon SRC right here, which is the close of each bar, and the fast length, which is 12, and that's the simple moving average and the exponential moving average, same with the source and the fast length. And so you can see it pulls from our inputs, and it pulls from, as you hover over the different colors on the code, it pulls from this built-in function of the exponential moving average, or it pulls upon the function of the simple moving average, and it compiles all that bar by bar into the fast moving average, into the slow moving average. And then with those two, we come in here and we define what our MACD is. MACD, you can't just code MACD. You have to build out the math, build out the equation. And so we used all of that to define the MACD, which is that blue line. And then additionally, we have a signal line right here. We built all this out to then make this equation so that we have the signal line, the orange one, and then our histogram, which is the MACD, the blue line, minus the orange line. And so now we have our plot, and the histogram is the most complicated because it's showing 4 different colors, basically 4 different plots is what it's, 4 different plots. But then you have our MACD up here, it's plotted, and we have our signal line plotted. And so there you have it, my fellow automates. That is the structure of some basic code in TradingView. And now you have the understanding of where to go, what to look for, and what's going on behind the scenes. Tune in Thursday for the exact same walkthrough, but in TradeStation. Now, with all that being said, to whomever, whenever, and however this finds you, I hope that it finds you well, and I hope to see you again soon.